Hey guys, what's going on? This is Rich with Operation Vets with Nets, and over there is my co-host for the evening, Walt, and then down there is one of our guests, somewhere down there, that's Scott Covell. And well, today we're gonna talk about Scott's trip. And a matter of fact, Walt took Scott out before, so we can hear things from Walter's perspective as well. We're waiting on one more gentleman to join us. And so, without further ado, what I want to do is, first of all, I ask anybody who's watching to please keep Jamie Dunn from Carolina Lake Weights up in your prayers. He just had some emergency surgery, had sepsis, and just got off the phone with his wonderful ride there, Rebecca, and he's doing well. He's doing excellent. They've got the infection out. Now he's probably going to be in the hospital for about 7 days or so. But the doctors feel very confident on everything. And so if you're going to CatCon, you won't see Jamie there, but you'll see Rebecca and the kids, and a bunch of us helping those guys out there at CatCon. And so, talking about CatCon real quick, CatCon is a little over a week away, and we're super stoked. This is our second year going to CatCon, and Walt and Andrew are driving up with me. We're going to be leaving first thing Wednesday morning. Get up there by Wednesday evening. It'll be a good 12 or 13-hour drive, especially pulling that trailer. And but it'll be good. We'll arrive Thursday, set up and everything, and gonna have a good time. So
Is that up in Pennsylvania or exactly where is that?
No, sir. That is in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
And so it's a catfish and crappie convention, but most of us catfishermen, we disregard the crappie aspect of it.
Oh, come on now, come on! I love my crappies.
So we're super stoked about that. I don't see anybody on Facebook yet, but if you guys are on Facebook, go ahead and feel free to drop a comment on. But yeah, so we'll set up Thursday and then Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday morning get back on the road, head back home, and we're gonna be doing podcasts. This is gonna be the first time I'm trying this. I've got everything that I need. Hey, what's going on, Kurt? Hey, Hook Daddy, what's going on, buddy? What we're going to be doing is we'll be podcasting throughout the whole weekend. We're going to have our own media guy with us as well. Jesse, Donna Barton's cousin. And so we're excited about that. So we're going to be doing things a lot differently than we did last year. And we're gonna have all the swag. We'll have all our jerseys, all our ball caps, have T-shirts. We're hoping, with all you guys coming up to visit, that we will leave without any swag. So then we could go ahead and start coming out with our spring and summer stuff. So we're excited about that. I'm excited also. It's a 12-hour trip, and it's going to be an interesting one, especially with Walt and Andrew in the truck. I might be a little bit, sitting in the corner when we get up there Wednesday night and going. But and yes, if you're looking, I am in my PJs. It's going to be an early night. I gotta. After I'm done here, do a few things and hit the pit because I've got to head up to the lake house tomorrow and get some things situated. And so anyway, let's go ahead and start. So Walt, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Well, I'm a Virginia State lead. I actually took Scott out I think we've done it twice, right, Scott, or just once?
Twice. Catfish once,
Oh,
and then
first
the
time
one
catfish, right?
catching those speckled trout.
Right. So we
What's
did.
that?
I remember Scott saying to me that he just wanted to catch some catfish to take home to eat, and we ended up catching bigger catfish when we went out on the James. And
Yeah. Yep.
the speckled
It was
trout went home with him, so
it was
that wasn't
fun.
the problem.
And we'll definitely
Yep.
get into those conversations here shortly. But hold on, I'm just looking for something too. Trying to.
We're coming back from CatCon with swag, contrary to what he said. So,
well, yeah, I'm hoping we
Okay.
come back with somebody else's swag and not ours. All right,
a couple of new rods, some, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I got some anchors.
Oh,
I'm
which
going to
is
be
nice.
getting from Matt Carter. Let me see. I'm trying to find some questions I was going to ask you, Walt. Being you were a captain, I've got some. Let me see. Oh well, I'll just
wing it.
Yeah, I'll just wing that one. All right. So, Scott, why don't you, before we get discussing your trip, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, what branch of service, and all that good stuff.
Okay. I'm Scott Covell. I'm from the Black Hills of South Dakota. A country boy. I grew on up. I lost my mom in high school, and I wanted to get away because I was close with her. And when she passed away, I was in high school, so I wanted to join the military. I wanted to get away, and all the other detailers, and that was giving me a big line. But the Navy guy, he came at me straight. He was from his first name I cannot remember, but Anderson. He was from Alaska, and he told me how things were straight. And I went on in. Just a country boy from South Dakota, never seen much of a big ship. Then I got on out there to San Diego, and I was on LSD, and I walked by the frigates, and I thought the frigate was a huge thing, but then later on in my career, I was on aircraft carriers. I was a cook, so I got a lot of experience cooking on the big boys. I did 20 years on in. I retired here in Norfolk, Virginia. I stayed in Hampton, Virginia. Back home, I love it, but there's not a whole lot of opportunity for. So I stay here in Virginia, and I'm a outdoorsman. I love fishing. I love hunting. I wish I could do more of it, but now since I'm more on the retired side now, I'll have more of a chance where I could go on out and do more fishing.
Well, I appreciate that. So let me ask you, can you describe your experience on the fishing trip with Operation Vets with Nets and what stood out the most?
What stood out with the most, talk about the organization or the captain?
Well, tell us. We want to hear your journey. So tell us both.
I had a great time on out there with Walt. He already had everything all lined up. We went on out, and he said, "We're going to catch some bigger fish within the just eatable." I said, "Okay," and went on out. And the very first time I ever trolled, because back home we just throw a bunch of bait on a hook, throw some weight on, throw it out in the river or lake or whatever. That was the first time I ever trolled for catfish. And I kind of thought that was kind of weird, trolling for catfish, but it definitely does work. And we had 3 fish hooked up at one time. And he told me when we first started, Walt did, he said, I'm here just as a captain. I'm not catching nothing. And well, then I had a hookup. Well, then right after that, there had another hookup. Then right after that, had another hookup. We had 3 hookups at it was about 8:45 that morning. After that, I never had a bite. But I tell you what, after reeling in 3 big boys, your arms are pretty tired. I had a wonderful day. I got to know more about the operation of what it stands for, how it's helping other vets out. It's therapy. And it really is. I go fishing or hunting. A lot of times I just go out there soul searching because it's so comforting being out there in the quietness and out in nature, the birds and all that. And if you throw some good people around you who have experiences of the military like I had and it just goes hand in hand. It was a wonderful trip. And I went out another time with him, had a wonderful time. It was a lot colder that morning.
Yes, sir.
But we had, yeah, but we had a great time, and was able to catch some speckled trout, took them home, and had them for dinner. And my wife, she told me that she loves them, and I need to go back out and catch some more. I haven't had a chance yet, but I will.
You won't go hitting those speckled trout until about next September, October.
October at the earliest.
October.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had a big kill this year, so with the freeze. So I'm hoping it doesn't affect next year's catch.
Yeah, it's a bad thing about cold weather in this area. I try to tell people that other veterans that I know of or active duty, I tell them to check out the organization. One of the first guys that I told, I was on base on the Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, and they had the one street blocked off so people could go fishing on it. And I seen this gentleman in a parking lot, and I started talking to him, and I mentioned about operation events and that. And I said I just got back, and I had a great time. And I caught 3 big catfish, and so he went and checked it out. And come to find out, I went on another trip, and he just happened to be along with me. And I thought that was pretty special that I was able to tell somebody about the organization and being able to experience his first time out there with the organization on the boat. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's when you went out with Jay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because before you got there, I think I was doing a trip or I was doing a bait run or something. I think I was doing a trip too. I'm not sure.
You were.
But,
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. I was awesome.
And, I will have to say I gotta give it up to the Navy. I've gone out with Army guys and no fish. Went out with a Navy guy. I caught the fish. I know.
Oh, my Army guys are gonna go crazy on that one. So let me ask you, Walt. How was your experience during that trip?
Oh, every time I go out, I always experience something different because of the people that I'm out with. So I learned quite a bit about his background, there's always a different way to fish things. So he kind of tried to get me into spot fishing or to do some other saltwater stuff. which I'm kind of not really into that just yet. So, or pier fishing, I guess, is the other thing, or bank fishing type of stuff. So the really cool thing is that we did catch 3 fish, because I wasn't sure we were going to catch anything. And that weren't those your PBs at the time?
Yes, a 34, 32, and a 31 pounder.
Right. All within, probably 100 yards of each other, basically.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got hooked up right after another.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's
they were kind of
nice.
hanging out. So it was lucky,
Yeah.
because the James River, it's, as you know, when you fish it, it's kind of a up and down, depending upon the weather, I guess, and the luck of where you are.
Yes.
No, you're right there, no doubt. So let's go ahead and all right. So let's give a shout out. We got Kurt, the River Troll. We got Hook Daddy, TJ there. We got one of our other our state lead and one of our captains, Chris Wheeler, out there from California. We got Charlie Brookover from the Ohio River chapter up there, and we got the realist fishing Team Army 100%. Yeah, I kind of chuckled at that one. Go Navy,
Army.
That's right.
I would just say the trophy is in our house.
That's right. Trophy is in the Navy's house.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we got Ed Jenkins, our Tennessee state captain, but he won't be in Tennessee much longer. Ed's going to be migrating over to South Carolina, and he's going to take over that whole region. Oh, and we got Mr. Taco himself that still hasn't learned that this is a kid's show and still putting at them comments. Like I said earlier, so Mr. Cat Filet Taco himself. And come on, don't get me started, TJ. We got bragging rights this year. We got the trophy, so sit down until next year. All right, so let me ask you, Scott. Army versus Navy fishing tournament with the captains. Army captains will win. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I will say we've got some good Army captains, but we give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask you there, Scott. How did being on the water and fishing help you disconnect from life's daily stressors?
It's just so much more relaxing out there. My thought goes into a lot of different things. The layout of the river, all the techniques that he's showing me how to do it. And I take that into perspective on everything else. It was cool, different Mother Nature there. I believe you seen a bald eagle that day. So you get to experience a lot of things, and I do a lot of soul searching. That sometimes you have a hard spot in your life, and a good way to get through that for me is fishing and hunting. And when I have an opportunity to go on out, I do a lot of thinking.
Right on. So do you notice any changes in your mood, anxiety level, or overall mental health benefits during or after the trip?
Well, when I catch something, I like to brag about it. So I guess that's well-being. That helps you out.
So. What about any anxiety or mood?
I want to get back out there and do it again.
Right on. What about you, Walt? Being a Navy vet yourself, do you find it therapeutic as a captain, because we know, we know when we go out, when we're going out fishing, and you and I have talked about this. When we're actually out there catching fish and trying to target and stuff like that, we find that very therapeutic. But when you're going on a trip, and and you're like me, you just make sure the fish is on the rod and that's it. The vet does all the work, and they're catching, and we're just lending any assistance where needed. But doing that, do you still find it therapeutic for yourself?
I actually really enjoy watching other people do it. I really, really, I mean, I can catch fish anytime because I have a boat. I really enjoy getting people out there. I really enjoy answering questions about how to fish, when to fish, what kind of, boat stuff, anything like that. Just general talking about experiences that I've had with other people and they've had. So for me, it's very, very relaxing to be on the water fishing, whether it's by myself or with a vet.
Yeah. I find the same thing. I find the same thing. I could not be getting anything, or you've been out there. With the new boat, we've ran into issue after issue, and we get them fixed, and this, that, and the other thing. At first, it gets aggravating, but you know what? We're on the water. We're on the water, and we're working out all the fine kinks of the new wheelchair boat, and so to me, that's still exciting. Could be some costly fixes, but that's okay, because bottom line is the vet is gonna be the ones that benefit from the use of the boat. So Scott, let me ask you, do you think fishing offers a unique form of therapy compared to other methods you have tried?
I think it's so because
And how so?
I got you got a trick of fishing to me. It's a learned experience to me of how to learn how to catch a new type of fish. And I've caught blue cats before, but they were always been small. And I've noticed that the ways has changed. So I could take that thought of what I can learn from that fishing trip, and that can help me if I come into another situation. I can think of that time, so I can think back on a better time instead of like a rough spot. To me,
Gotcha. And you've mentioned hunting, and you've mentioned how that's where you go soul searching, both hunting and fishing. So what do you find different between the going out catfishing and going out hunting? What stands out most for you?
the camaraderie of both fishing and hunting amongst friends is great. Fishing is more of I think it's more one-on-one, and it's more of a challenge to get that fish to entertain me on the bait that you got. You got to entertain the fish with it, and that way so you can catch. It's more challenging for that than on out hunting. But think about out hunting, and just like fishing, I could be out there fishing and see all these birds around, thinking that some days it might be tough, but when I come out here on this water or out here in these woods, I'm out here by myself or with just a few friends, and it's to me it's so much more relaxing, and you could do a lot of good thinking. I've had a lot of bad things happened to me. And if it wasn't for fishing, that to get something else on my mind, and like fishing or hunting, and put my mind forward on that positive thing, and that has helped me out a lot. And being able to get out and enjoy a different type of fishing, how we did, I got to meet some great people.
Awesome. No, that's great to hear.
And
Walt, you're both a hunter and a fisher.
Yeah, your tournament schedule getting in my way.
Well, that's too bad. I've got my priority straight, and that's fishing. What do you find therapeutic? Do you find out there fishing can be more therapeutic than hunting, or I don't know? Compare the two, and what's your feedback on that?
Okay, so hunting is a limited area sport for me. The land is you have a limited area for land and where you're going and what you're doing. Fishing is a wide open sport. I'm moving, I'm doing things, I'm thinking about stuff. If this doesn't work, we're going to move from A to B, type of stuff. So I think from a fishing point of view, there's some more thought processes that are going along as I'm doing it. Hunting, you're kind of the way I hunt anyway, which is in a stand with dogs. It's kind of a just go sit somewhere and wait and concentrate on yourself or your phone for a little while until the deer runs by, and shoot the deer and shoot at a deer as it runs by. Hopefully you get the deer, but that type of stuff. And actually muskrat, you're right. It's much easier to find a place to fish than it is to hunt sometimes.
Yes, it is.
So, I could travel anywhere with my boat.
Yeah, no, this is very true, and we're definitely gonna be doing some traveling this year. I'm not a hunter. I can care less. I'm always from November 1st until January 1st. Well, it's like I could fish during the week, but Friday and Saturday I'm not scheduling anything, and I still try to get him to get his priorities straight. But see, so Walter being Navy like me, but he was a corpsman, so he's not right in the head. So I still have to I still got to work with him and really, maybe put those project management background that I have and apply it towards Walt so I can help him get his priorities straight. So then all of a sudden he's like, screw hunting, we're just fishing. No. And that's cool. It's both are great sports, I guess. It depends on what you really like, and I guarantee, especially our veterans, find both of them very therapeutic in their own means, so I'm not, I will bust chops on the hunting, because every time I'm trying to get captains to do something during hunting season, it's like pulling teeth. But then I got to remember, they're hunters too. So, but I've yet to have some backstrap or anything show up at my house. So I don't think we have many good hunters. No. No.
There was a special delivery, I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
I said, you got a special delivery this year.
You did, and it was excellent. It was excellent. Yep. I've got. They were like fillets or something like that, weren't they?
Yeah, I gave you ham. I cut up a bunch of ham.
Yeah,
and I gave you some backstrap too.
Dry.
I'm too far away from you.
And I cooked it all. I still got I still got a piece in the freezer, or vacuum seal. But yeah, to me it was really good. I know that a buddy of mine used to always bring me a roast every year, and he'd tell me you gotta soak it in milk like the night before. And I'm like, okay. And then I'd sit there and I make a nice roast with, carrots and potatoes and all that. Oh, it's phenomenal. And my wife was looking forward to it until I said, "Hey, what's up, David?" Until I said, I said, "Hey, you ready to chow down on some Bambi tonight?" That ruined it right there. She's like, "Thanks, you just ruined it for me. No, I'm not gonna be eating Bambi." I'm like, ah. So it is what it is. No, don't soak fish or deer.
Nope.
Oh gosh, don't soak fish or deer. Coming from the man, catfish taco, Andrew, aka Andrew, the man who takes 6 hours to fillet a 3-pound catfish, and
Just ask the cook.
that's why it's his name is Catch Fillet Tacos. Because let me tell you, Andrew's a great guy. And man, I'll tell you, when it comes to fabricating, man, he's just phenomenal. But he's mentally unstable because I took him out. He's one of our captains as well. So we went out on our boat, and so we caught a nice good 12. It was about a 10-pounder. And so I said, "You want me to flay him up?" He said, "Oh, absolutely." Because Andrew, he's more about catching food. He lives on what he catches or duck hunts or all that stuff. So I filleted that stuff for like 2 minutes, and then and I got those nice big fillets and put them in the cooler. And he said, "Hey, do me a favor." I said, "Sure." He said, "The next time we catch an eater, let me fillet it up." He said, "You lost so much meat." I'm like, "Okay." What a mistake that was. We caught another 10, 12 pounder or something like that. And it took him 3 hours to fillet this fish. He was getting the cheek stuff. Just there was not one piece of meat that he missed. He cut in between the ribs and just pull out the ribs and all that meat. And he goes, "Hey, man, it makes great fish tacos." I'm like, "Oh," I said, I ain't got the time for that. So giving innocent, hold on here. What did he say? Giving innocent veterans to an unstable boat captain is crazy. Oh, you know what? I think all of our captains are unstable in one way or another, but they're the best in the industry. We by far have such a great team. So now, let me ask you there, Scott. How did the shared experience with other veterans, such as Walt, influence your trip? Did it foster any new? I know the answer to this, but let's let you share it. Did it foster any new connections or friendships?
Oh yes. Yeah, I've talked to him a few times on the phone, or I'll hit him up on Facebook or something. I try to keep in contact with other vets that I have gone out, I've met out fishing and stuff like that. And the thing is, me and Jay, I never even heard about Operation Vets with nets. I was introduced to the catfish world when the Fallen Outdoors had a catfish gathering up with the Old Dominion Catfish Club, and I met Jay then. And we would talk about going fishing and that, and we never ever made it. And but I would still keep in contact with him on Facebook. And he told me about Operation Vets with nets. And he said, I got somebody who wants to take you out. And I said, okay, that sounds good. Well, then he set me up with Walt. And so, in a way, it kind of started years ago when I met him, but we never ever did fish together.
You and Jay.
Yes, yes. I met him.
Until recently, until this
Yes, yes, yes.
yep.
And that was the first time I fished with him. I finally actually got to see him again since that I did that very first time. And I still text him with him and ask him if he's been out fishing and all that. Uh, I try to keep in contact with other vets that because every vet to me, we have a special bond. The military does, I believe, compared to ordinary people. People who have served together. In my rate that I was in his rate that he was in, being a wall, being a being a cook, we came in contact with a lot of people.
And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why you came into a contact with a lot of people, because you would cook the food. They get food poisoning and they go see Walt.
Oh no. No. But that is one thing I will say in my whole time in the military and in my I worked at an army base for almost 16 years cooking for them. I can proudly say I've never got nobody sick. That is one thing I am.
Man, they can eat anything. They got that rock good.
But that it is one proud thing that that I could say, and I show people the picture of the catfish that we caught. I was showing them off today. I still got them on my camera, and was telling another veteran today about the organization and that, and told him about to go on tonight. And I don't know if he ever did or not, but we in the military have a special bond, I believe, and fishermen have a bond together. It's different than any other thing, I believe.
Oh no, and you're right. You do build bonds. I've got one guy that I took out, and I've actually took him out multiple times. Great guy, Tony Cook, and we've gone on multiple trips. Even if I'm going out by myself and I ain't got nothing going on, I'd give him a call, say, "Hey Tony, you feel like going fishing?" And so we'd meet up and we go fish. He did most of our fishing up in Kerr. Well, Kerr, Gaston, and I think he did a trip with us on the James as well. And talking about the James, you mentioned falling outdoors, and Old Dominion Catfish Club, which is now the Title James Catfish Club.
Okay.
April, I want to give them a plug in. April, they have their vet trip, just like how you met Jay.
Yes.
It's normally in May, but it's April this year. An Operation Veterans, and all our captains in the local area will be up there to support that event. And we also, as an organization, we have two huge events this year. One, she'll kill me if I get it wrong, but I believe it. Yeah, October 11th, the Ohio River chapter. They're having another huge big vet event this year. So if you're up in that region and you're watching, get up on our website. And if you don't know what it is, here, I'll share this with you. Go to our website and you can sign up, go under the events page, and you can sign up to either be a captain or get your name on the list to be a vet to get on that trip. So that's Ashley and Jesse at our Ohio River chapter up there. And then a month later, November 8th, and more details are to follow, but November 8th, we are here in Virginia. We are having our big event, and we're going to limit it to 50 boats and 50 captains roughly. or yeah, 50 boats and 50 vets.
I signed up for that.
What's that?
I signed up for that.
Yep, you did. And so we'll really start pushing it more in the next couple of months. We're just finalizing some more details because we're gonna have a meet and greet that Friday night before up at one of the VFWs up there, so we can match up the captains and everybody gets to meet everybody. And that we're gonna have it. We're just gonna have a great time. We're gonna have it. We've got one gentleman who's cooked for the Tidewater or Old Dominion Catfish Club. He's gonna do our cooking for us, and which is great. We'll have a lot of stuff going on. So if you want to sign up for that, or you want to be a captain for that, again, go to our website right there, scrolling at the bottom, go to the events, and you'll see our, it's called Hooked on Heroes. That's our event. Sign up for it. It's November 8th. That's a Veterans Day weekend. And so we'd love to have you. It's going to be the first 50 people that sign up, and then we'll probably put a standby list together just in case something happens and somebody can't show up. So what else is going on? So what do you, Scott, what's, if you were sitting there and there was a vet watching this that just heard about us, or he happened to be scrolling through YouTube or Facebook and really doesn't know much about the organization, what would you say to that vet if they're thinking about, maybe I'll do something with them, or maybe I'll reach out? What would you say to that vet?
Well, first of all, I would tell them to go online and check out the organization to sign up for it. I've told several of my friends and also my relatives who are veterans to sign up for it. I said, if you're not into catfishing, I said, well, some people are, some people aren't. But I said that is a great organization for veterans who can talk to other veterans about different stuff. Like earlier, I said, military people have a special bond with other military people that civilian world we don't have. But I would get them in contact with the right people, with you guys, and about go ahead, sign up for a trip. And if they're local around here, what I tell them to do, if you want, I said maybe we could go be your very first trip, since I told you about it. Maybe we could go on a trip together. Because on some boats they take one vet, some have two vets. So I said, if it's possible to take two vets, I'll go out there with you, and that way, we already got that bond already started, and just go from there.
There you go. Well, I definitely appreciate that, and that's, and I will say, the one thing I will say is you're right. When, all right, hold on here. He does a great job with pork and catfish bites. Oh, you're talking about the guy who's going to cook for us. Yeah, that's what I hear. But I will have to give a plug, and not all our captains are veterans, but they have such a heart for our veteran community that our vets end up still building a really strong bond, because you end up finding you have a lot more in common. Now, yes, if I'm taking an Air Force guy out, or a Marine or Navy guy, bottom line is we have all served. And so I always look at, we've all shared that foxhole in one way or another.
Yes.
But I think I think with our civilian captains that they find a common ground as well, and end up building a strong bond. So I want to make sure that our captains, that are civilians that never served in the military for one reason or another, don't feel left out, because they're just as vital as even our vets. And
What
they do a great job. It's super exciting, and then what's nice is that although, our organization is based on those captains taking vets out, the support that we get, either by the catfish industry itself, and various companies support us in various ways. We've got a lot of great sponsors: Anvil Rods, Mad Cats, Carolina Lake Weights, Catch the Fish. I mean, all the big players in the industry all have done so much for Operation Vets Witness as a whole, and it's a true blessing. It truly is. I'd have to give them their props and their thanks. And then it's those folks out there that either served in the military or didn't. They don't fish, but they love our veterans and they sponsor us in other ways. Some come out when we have big events, and they volunteer their time to work our booth, or talk to folks about the organization. We got that ambassador program, which we're still trying to get all those pieces worked out, and to engage all those folks that have signed up. And I know you signed up as an ambassador as well, Scott. And we've really got to come up with some ideas on how to engage folks and in each one of the states, and really get involved with our ambassadors as well. And so that's gonna be a big growing thing. When you're a catfish captain, when you're a captain, it's easy. You know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go out and take people out catfishing. But with the ambassadors, they're really focused on vets, or some of them like to go talk to the VFWs, talk to other organizations that tell them about us, and which is a great thing. But let me see here. What did Dave say? It's fun when I have a Navy vet and a Marine in the boat. You get a lot of poking at each other. Oh yeah, Dave, you are so correct on that. I've enjoyed that plenty of times. And there's one Marine I was telling him, I said, see, even after we retired, the Navy is still getting you from point A to point B. Bottom line is that the Marines work for the Navy, Department of the Navy. You look at it, and we get them all over the world. So Dave, you are exactly right. And so if we got any Marines, watching this podcast, please give it back to me. I love it. I love it. I love it.
One thing I do, I got the hoodie from you. That every time I go commissary, or I do something on base, or I was walking, I wore it up in Sam's Club a few weeks ago, and I had a guy that stopped me, and he was asking me that. He said, "I've never seen that hoodie before." He said, "I like that hoodie." I said, "Are you a veteran?" He said, "No." I said, "Do you fish?" He says, "No, but I like the hoodie." I said, "Well, it's a great hoodie to wear, and it shows what we're all about. If you as an individual, if you don't fish, but if you like it, go ahead and buy one. Then and find out some information about the organizations. So if a veteran does stop and ask you about the operation, that you know a little bit about it, instead of just wearing the hoodie." So I try to give them some information, and I got some cards from you that I carry around in my truck about the organization, that I hand them out at different events that I've been at. So I try to do that part. I don't have no boat to take anybody out, but I try to tell people about the organization and how they can get involved with it as a participant or just maybe as a sponsor.
And I appreciate that. I truly do appreciate it. Operation Vets, like other nonprofit organizations, the only way we survive are by sponsorships and donations. But I honestly feel even if the donations, coming in slow, God's gonna, if something's got to happen, God's gonna make it happen. Believe me, over the last 4 years since our organization has been around, there are some hurdles we had to jump through that I had no idea how we were gonna make it through, and I just pray about it, and next thing you know, we're making it through, and that's great. I was praying that God would put some old guy in my life, someone I can bust chops with. Next thing you know, he puts a guy 2.5 miles away from me. That's Walter. No. That was funny. How Walt, why don't you share how we finally connected?
So actually, I was talking with Derek and his Patriot Catfish organization to start with. I asked him if they needed any help, and he said, "No, we don't need any help, but you should check out this other place." And so, and that's only because the folks up there that do that other organization that participates and pulls the vets in for us. When I asked them if I could be a boat captain for them, there was a whole lot of, and maybe they misunderstood me or I misunderstood them. I don't know which, but a whole lot of requirements to be doing that. And I said, no, I'm not playing that game either. So I applied and then didn't hear anything for about 2 months. The next thing I know, Rich calls me up out of nowhere and says, "Hey, I don't, for some reason, we didn't get this. Normally it didn't come to my inbox. It didn't come to my inbox, whatever." So I had no idea anything about Operation Vets with Nets until that point. And I didn't know Rich lived around the corner then either. So, but
that could be a cursing or a blessing or a curse.
So he got to talking with me, and I took a couple of trips, and then we went fishing together, and he kind of just conned me to moving up in the organization without really asking. He just said, "You are." It was kind of funny.
You got a way of that.
I was down at Virginia Beach doing the show down at USO show, standing around there, and somebody said, "Hey, why don't you become a board member?" And I said, "Nope. I think I'm going to stop where I'm at right now. I do not want to be a part of making decisions about any organization. I'm retired. I want to stay that way." So that's kind of how we hooked up. And it's been good ever since then. Now, literally, I got a new friend out of the deal, and there's not a day generally that goes by that I don't end up talking. So.
No, I agree. My matter of fact, I forgot. Oh, no, I can't say this in public. So my wife would kill me. But
I know what you're getting ready to say.
No. Actually, you don't. I didn't share this with you because she would kill me. But she'll sit there and go, and she'll say this to me. This is something different. But Walt and I will go out. We'll go out fishing for a couple hours in the morning. We'd ever come back, and then I'd call him, and she goes, "I'm so confused." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You spend a day out there fishing with them, and then when you get home, you're on the phone with them." She goes, "What? What could you be talking about that you didn't talk about on the boat?" I said, "Well, we're out there and we're just fishing. We're really not talking organizational stuff unless we really have a conversation. We're out there fishing and camaraderie and BSing." I said, then something came to me and I got a call. She goes, "I'll tell you," she goes, "Walt's the other woman." I said, well, I do got a bromance with them. I said, I ain't gonna disagree there. But it is. There ain't a day that goes by that I don't talk to Walt one time or another. And that's a blessing with this organization. Those relationships throughout the organization have built. There are captains that talk to other captains on a daily basis. There are vets that have gone out that talk to our captains on a daily basis. It's just, it's more than an organization. It's a family, really. It truly is. You got, you got the kids that are, yes, Dad, I'll take care of it, and they take care of it. Then you got the kids that you want to take in the back shed with a switch and whoop their hind parts because they ain't doing what they're supposed to do. But it's all good. It's all good. We all come together for a common mission, and that's a blessing. But we've got about 5 minutes. All right, I talk to Juan and Leland almost daily now. Oh, I believe that. For my Texas guys, I set my reservations and my flights. I will be out in Texas with my wife. She's going to visit with my sister-in-law as well as I will. But I am available. Let me see. We fly out on the 11th. So I guess it's like the 13th, that following weekend. Already, I think it's a Friday or a Sunday. Chris hasn't figured it out yet. We're going out with Chris Gemmel and probably a couple other guys on the boat. But I'm free to go fishing. That's the whole idea. I told my wife I'm going to make it March. Yep. March. Hold on a minute. My fishing days are let me see. March. I'm fishing the 14th, 15th, and the 16th of March. I know it's going to be that Friday or that Sunday with Chris. I'd love to go out with Leland. I'd love to go out with Matt. Anybody, if we can get a bunch of captains together and all go fishing, and Chris tells me we'll be fishing Texoma during that time period. And then wherever else. So yeah, I'll be out there fishing in March. Get to meet the guys that I haven't met already. And Juan, he's like 50 hours in another direction of Texas. But I'll see Juan at CatCon. And again, before we close out, we got about 3 minutes. Again, all right, my kids usually go with my in-laws for spring break. I'll make sure I'll make a trip for sure if I can. That'd be awesome. Just let me know. I'm out. My whole purpose is to meet my captains out there in Texas and go fishing. And so and possibly come back with a new PB. That's the game plan. But again, CatCon coming up next week. Come see us. Come join our podcast. Like I said, we'll be running podcasts the whole few days there. Yes. Any updates on Jamie? I will give an update on Jamie real quick. For those that know what's going on with Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lake Weights, went in and had emergency surgery today. He had sepsis. Didn't know about it. Wasn't feeling good. Finally, he had something on his hind parts that looked like an ingrown hair and wasn't looking good. It was getting redder from the night before. Jamie being not Jamie, but Rebecca being the caring person that she is, told me he had no choice. He was going to the hospital. Took him to the hospital, and thank God they did, because come and find out he was septic. The hospital had to rearrange surgeries to get him in because it was an emergency. But I talked to Jamie, or rather Rebecca, 10 minutes before the show. Jamie's out of surgery, doing great. They're expecting a full recovery. He's just going to be off his feet for a good 2 weeks because recovering from sepsis is not a quick process. And so Jamie's doing good, Dave. And God definitely answers prayer there. And so, but Rebecca, that's right. Oh, a matter of fact, man, TJ, tomorrow needs you. That stuck on my head there was something I wanted to talk to you and Ashley about. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. I will talk to you guys separately on that. Yeah, and so just remember this for our vets who might be watching. They may watch it later on down the road. TJ came up with it. I believe it was TJ. For those guys that are suffering from PTSD and depression and really thinking about friggin' ending it. And a lot of us have been there. Just
I've been there.
remember, tomorrow needs you. You know, the whole purpose of the organization started out as specifically those from suffering from PTSD and depression, and we definitely want to put a dent in that suicide rate. It's no longer 22. I forgot what the latest numbers were, but one death to suicide is too many. And that's our whole purpose and our whole existence is really to be there for that vet, especially those suffering from various different ailments. And I love that. I love that saying. And man, I may even get that tattooed on me somewhere. Tomorrow needs you. That's incredible. And if you really think about that speaks volume in just those 3 words. So listen, guys, it's that time. Maybe we can get our other vet who is scheduled to be on. We'll try to get him on at another time. But thanks, guys, for stopping by and spending a little time with us tonight. I hope you felt uplifted in one way or another from our stories. Me blabbing my mouth that might ruin your day. Always flapping my lips. But anyway, I appreciate everybody. Thank you. God bless. And remember, tomorrow needs you.
I'm out.